Today we got the Money in the Bank prediction preview show going on. Money in the Bank taking place on Sunday. When is that? June 29th. June 29th, 2014 in Boston, Massachusetts. And let's get things started. So first off, we got Dana Bryan on the kickoff show. It's going to be on the network, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever they have all the kickoff shows. I just watch on the network because that's what I got. And Dana Bryan's going to probably be there, talk about his neck, when he's going to be cleared, if he's going to be cleared to wrestle, and hopefully he talks about the WWE title situation, talks about how he got screwed over, and this is basically technically all Kane's fault, because Kane hit 3 tombstones on him, and then, he ends up having to have neck surgery. Not really because of that, but storyline, they should probably say that's the reason why he had to get the surgery. Maybe he has the titles because when the Authority stripped him of the titles, they said they called him to tell him he was stripped, but he never answered their phone calls or were able to get to him. So I don't know how they got the titles when technically in storyline Dana Bryan should have the titles with them at all times because he is the champion. But whatever. Dana Bryan hopefully will talk about how he deserves a rematch, and maybe Triple H comes out, talks about when and if he gets a rematch. And I don't really know if they're going to give us a lot because this is on the pre-show, so it's free. Don't really know what they're going to give us on the kickoff show. Maybe if this was on the actual pay-per-view, maybe they might give us a little bit more. Maybe give us a date. You never know. So this is probably a pre-show I'm going to have to actually watch because I usually don't watch the pre-show, but since Dana Bryan's on, he's going to be talking. I'm going to have to watch it. So let's get to the actual pay-per-view. And first off, we got the Divas title match with Paige against Naomi with Cameron at ringside. And I'm going to take Paige on this one. Naomi and Cameron have teased separation. Cameron has been kind of bitchy lately, and Naomi doesn't really like how she's been acting. And so maybe Cameron cost Naomi the match. Maybe Naomi is going to have an opportunity to win, and then maybe Cameron distracts her or does something to her, and then Paige hits a Paige turner and beats her. It's not the best way for Paige to win because she's a face as well, but it is what it is, and then it sets off maybe a Cameron-Naomi feud, and then, I don't know, maybe AJ comes back, or maybe Naomi gets a rematch at Battleground, and then Cameron and Naomi face off for whatever, and then AJ comes back, and then they have a Paige-AJ match at SummerSlam for the Divas Championship, because AJ lost after WrestleMania, and then she never showed up. She just disappeared. So, I'm going to take Paige on that one. And then next up, we got the Usos against the Wyatts for the WWE Tag Title match. I like the Usos. They're my boys. San Francisco, Bay Area. But I'm going to take the Wyatts to win. The Wyatts have been on a tear lately, and this is probably going to be a good match. When they have the tag team matches, they have good chemistry. They're a lot of high-flying action. And when they have the singles matches, they're only like 2 minutes long. So hopefully they give the time to this and they have a great match like I know they can have a great match. So I'm going to pick the Wyatts to win. Luke Harper's probably going to get a massive clothesline on one of the Usos. Usos are probably going to do like a backflip or something, and JBL will be marking out, saying that's like the greatest clothesline of all time, or whatever. And so Wyatt's going to win, and then that new music that they got are going to play, the Whole World in His Hands with the harmonica playing. They said an organ, but I'm pretty sure that's a harmonica. And so, that music, it's alright. It's not like Right to Censor, where it's like, and it's just so annoying you just want it to just turn off, but because since they walk really slow, it takes them like at least a minute to get to the ring. So you hear that, you almost hear like the entire song, so it gets kind of old pretty quick. But I guess you don't want them to hear the same song like 2 or 3 times in the show if the Wyatts come out and then Bray Wyatt comes out. So whatever. So Wyatt's going to get the win, new tag team champions, and then next we're going to move on to the 2 ladder matches. First off, we got the Money in the Bank contract match with the briefcase hanging up above the ring. And we got Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Jack Swagger, RVD, Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, and maybe Bad News Barrett, because I'm recording this on a Wednesday. So yesterday on the SmackDown tapings, Bad News Barrett suffered a shoulder separation. Never had one of those, but I assume it hurts. Shoulder pops out of his socket, you gotta pop back in. I don't know if he's gonna be able to wrestle or not. There has been really any formal announcement about when and if he's able to return by Sunday. But I don't think Bad News was gonna win anyway, so it's an 8-man or it's a 7-man match. Yeah, it's a 7-man match. So it's not like a singles match where he needs to be in that match for it to work out. He doesn't have to be in the match if he was going to win, and just let the other guys do what they got to do. So this probably can be one of the best, if not the best match of the night, because there's everybody in this match can do athletic things. Even RVD, who's getting up there in age, and Jack Swagger, he might not be a high flyer because he's a big dude, but he can catch all those guys. He can do power moves with the ladder. So this probably could be a really good match. And Seth Rollins has been doing these high spots for the last couple pay-per-views, and I don't think he's going to disappoint us. He probably will do something off the ladder or something like that. But every single time, usually every ladder match or every Money in the Bank match, every pay-per-view, there's usually somebody who gets injured. So hopefully nobody gets injured on this night, on these ladder matches. So Rollins is probably going to get the win on this one. I think there's going to be a point in the match where Dean Ambrose is looking. He's going to have he's going to be able to win, but then instead of going after the briefcase and winning, he goes after Seth Rollins because that's really all he wants is Seth Rollins. And so then maybe there's going to be he beats him up, and then everybody comes in, and then everyone's brawling, and then they get cleared out, and then Seth Rollins is laid out. And he pops up, and he's oh, nobody's up. So then he just scurries up the ladder and gets a contract, and he wins. So I don't really know when Seth Rollins is going to cash in. He might hold it till after WrestleMania. He can just say, hey, look, I got the Money in the Bank contract. I'm going to be the next title. I'm going to be the next WWE champion. He just keeps on going and going and going, and everyone's when are you going to cash it in? He's I'm going to pick my time. So it's kind of he doesn't, whatever. You know what I'm going with right here. So next we got the WWE World Heavyweight Championship ladder match. So we got John Cena, Roman Reigns, Alberto Del Rio, Randy Orton, Cesaro, Sheamus, Bray Wyatt, and the late addition Kane, which is added on Monday Night Raw. So there's no clear-cut winner in this match, just like in the other matches. There's no real winner. I mean, there's no clear winner that is going to win. But there's a whole bunch of different ways that they can go with this match. And it really all depends on what they think of and what they are going to do with Daniel Bryan. If they think Daniel Bryan is going to be healthy by Battleground, or if he's going to be healthy by SummerSlam, and if they want to give him the title, then they might give it to a Bray Wyatt or maybe even a Kane, just so they can get the title off them quickly. Even though I think Bray Wyatt would be a good WWE champion. Just he'd be the cult leader, and he'd definitely have the whole world in his hands with that WWE title, or the title is draped across his shoulders. But Bray Wyatt got the win against Bryan at Royal Rumble, so he can play off that, and then maybe they can have a Bray Wyatt Daniel Bryan match at Battleground or even SummerSlam. And Sheamus can be a dark horse to win. I don't think Sheamus is gonna win, but he could win if Daniel Bryan is healthy, and they want to get Sheamus the titles, because Sheamus can be a credible champion, even though he's already the United States champion. So he can have all this gold just dripping off him, and then he gets the titles, and then he ends up losing to Daniel Bryan. I don't know if Sheamus would win if he'd have to forfeit the United States Championship. I think he probably would. I think Ultimate Warrior surrender the Intercontinental Championship. I don't even know. I wasn't alive during that point. So then Sheamus could win. I think Orton and Alberto Del Rio and Kane probably have close to no chance of winning. And Cesaro is maybe a 5% chance of winning. I don't really know. They didn't really do anything on Raw with Cesaro on Monday to make me believe that he's going to win, but maybe that's why he's going to win. And also Paul Heyman said it wasn't a prediction that he was going to win. It's a spoiler. And he said it was a spoiler when Brock Lesnar was going to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. So maybe that's Paul Heyman's new gimmick, is he just spoils everything and says who's going to win. But I highly doubt that. So I think it's going to be between Cena and Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt that are going to win. And I'm going to pick Cena, even though I'd like to see Reigns win, even though I don't think he's ready, because he's had some singles matches that haven't really been all that great, like the Bray Wyatt Reigns match. I was really pumped to see that match. I want to see what they could do, and then it was kind of And then Bray Wyatt's Bray Wyatt. He's awesome. He probably would look really good with those belts on, just talking all this nonsense about how he's the leader, he owns the world and all that stuff. But there was a SummerSlam poster or a DVD cover or whatever of Brock Lesnar and Cena on the cover, so that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be Cena against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, but that could be a potential spoiler for what's going to happen if they don't think Daniel Bryan, if they just want to get the title on Brock Lesnar right now, and they don't want to wait, they don't think a Daniel Bryan Brock Lesnar match would work out, so they would just want to give it to Cena so that Cena can hold it to SummerSlam and then probably drop it to Brock Lesnar instead of having Sheamus win and then Daniel Bryan wins and then Brock Lesnar wins. So I'm probably going to pick Cena to win, even though I would much rather, because I'm going to SummerSlam. I want to see a Daniel Bryan. I would love to see Daniel Bryan win the title again at SummerSlam. That would be awesome for me to see. But then I also want, if Brock Lesnar is probably going to win the WWE Championship, and I'd rather see it in person at SummerSlam than if Brock Lesnar wins it at Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble. So personally, I would love to see Brock Lesnar win the title, to see that, because then he's probably going to have it all the way up until WrestleMania 31, and I'll be at WrestleMania 31, so then I'll see Brock Lesnar probably drop it to Roman Reigns. But I definitely would like to see Dana